Alright, what's up guys? A's, Raiders, Dubs, Sharks here. I thought I'd talk a little bit about the A's whole relocation thing, but in a little bit of a different aspect. I kind of want to talk about who's to blame in this situation, because there's two main, sides that are not agreeing with each other. They haven't agreed with each other for years. And, so those sides are the A's ownership, which, consists of their front office, all of that, Dave Cavill, their president, John Fisher, the majority owner, versus, the Oakland City Council, which is responsible for losing sports teams, doesn't really care about, sports, entertainment, fans, anything. They do not care about that at all. They just care, about different things. So, yeah. Basically, you might jump to one side, blaming one side. For example, you might say, well, I blame the city of Oakland more because, they play the victim and this and that. Or you might blame, the A's and say, well, they're the ones that want to move, right? And I'm here to say both sides are wrong. And they're both wrong for multiple reasons. They do, I guess in some ways they're right, but they're both very, very corrupt sides. So first I want to talk about the Oakland City Council, and they're basically the reason, why Oakland is, failing to keep their teams. So basically, like I said, they already lost the Raiders and Warriors. They don't care about sports. They just really could care less if they left the city. They play the victim in most situations. They'll be like, well, the A's want to do this, but it's attacking us, and they want to build a new stadium. It's hurting us. And I'm here to say that they're completely corrupt. They do not care about sports unless it's WNBA, which is disappointing because, Oakland a couple years ago was a thriving sports town. The Warriors were a championship team in Oracle Arena. The Raiders showed signs of light and were, packing out the Coliseum when they played well. The A's were looking a lot better. They, started a slogan rooted in Oakland a couple years ago and said they'd be dedicated to the city. But now it's completely flipped. Those two teams, the Warriors and Raiders, are gone. The A's are looking to move, and Oakland City Council is pretty much responsible for it. They, did not care when the Raiders wanted to leave, and I know the Raiders ownership was wrong too, but they didn't care at all, so I'd completely blame them for that. The Warriors, they didn't lift a finger to try to keep it either. So yeah, that's the one side of it. The A's, like I said, A's fans are some of the best in all of sports, I think. They stay loyal to a team that doesn't care about winning. John Fisher, the A's owner, just cares about one thing, and that's money, Does it take money to win a World Series? Heck yeah. So does he want to spend that money? No, he wants to make a profit. But the only problem is that when you don't win World Series, and it's been over 30 years now, you don't make money. That's what he doesn't realize. So there's a whole movie about this. If you have seen Moneyball, then you know that the A's do not have, spend money on top talent. Neither do they spend money on stadiums, and that's the issue right now. So if the A's were to leave, I would be mad at their ownership too. Their ownership didn't care about us fans being happy. They just cared about money, which is really selfish and wrong morally. So, in their eyes, winning a World Series is an afterthought. John Fisher, the A's owner, is one of the worst owners, and if not the worst in all of sports. He's a billionaire. He's one of the richest owners in Major League Baseball. But I have some news for you. He's keeping all that money, not spending anything, because, like I said, wants to make a profit. Dave Cavill, on the other hand, the A's president, and for the record, when Dave Cavill was announced as the new president 4 or 5 years ago, I was happy. I thought, wow, the A's are really trying to get professionals in the front office. But, as we're seeing, the guy really likes to stir up controversy, stir the pot, doesn't really care about fans. He just wants to, kind of serve up to Fisher, which I guess is his job, but, posting Vegas Golden Knights highlights and rooting for him when, the A's were talking about Las Vegas as a possible relocation area was a slap in the face. Not to mention, kind of the lack of information he's been giving the fans. It's ridiculous. So that's kind of both sides to it. Both sides are horrible. Both sides do not care if the A's were to stay or leave. It's really disappointing. And also, one thing I forgot to mention was a couple days ago, the A's, a couple members of the Oakland City Council roster, if you will, they were tweeting out, "We want WNBA. WNBA would be great in Oakland," while the A's are in the midst of looking for a new city. What is that accomplishing? It was like a couple of city council members posting all these things on Twitter and whatnot and saying, "Oh, we want WNBA." Like, what is that? How is that helping the situation? We have a Major League Baseball team on the brink of moving out of Oakland forever, and you guys are posting about a hypothetical team that doesn't exist, and it's ridiculous. You know, being an Oakland fan is hell, to say the least. That's an understatement, because the government does not care whatsoever, and the owners, aside from the Warriors, don't care about winning. I think it's ironic for the Raiders that their ownership, kind of really didn't spend money either, kind of like the A's, but their slogan was "Just Win, baby." When they didn't really care about winning either. Mark Davis, that's a whole different story. But John Fisher does not care about winning. You know, the A's are a good team, but haven't made a World Series in 30 years. 31 years was the last time they made it. 32 was the last time they won it. So, you know, if they were to leave, like I said, I would resent the fact that they did not care about winning ever. The Giants, on the other hand, right across the bay, love to spend money and win. You know, they've kept a core of 5 or so players: Belt, Posey, Crawford, all these guys that, were on that World Series team that, the A's just don't care about a core team. And that's, a reason why they've not been good in the playoffs. So anyways, guys, let me know who you guys blame in this situation. I blame both sides. I think the Oakland City Council is worse in this situation, but I think both sides of this are terrible. So let me know your guys' thoughts, and see you in the next one.